Imagine you're standing in front of the mighty Himalayas, snow falls slowly, the air is silent, yet there's a hum, a cosmic hum. That is the sound of Shiva. Namaste, welcome. In the vast and ancient land of Bharat, India, lived legends so powerful that they still echo across time. And among them, one name thunders through the universe, Shiva. But who is Shiva? To some, he is a destroyer. To others, a meditating yogi. And to the seeker, he is the very essence of truth. Today, we begin a journey through 5 powerful episodes, through myth, mystery, and the timeless presence of Shiva. Not a god to be feared, but a truth to be felt. In this first episode, let's meet his 5 forms, not just as visuals, but as meanings of life itself. 1. Shiva is Nataraja, the cosmic dancer. His dance is not just art, it is creation, preservation, and destruction, all in rhythm. When he dances, the stars spin, the galaxies whirl. 2. Shiva is Ardhanara, half man, half woman. Ever seen a form where masculine and feminine blend so perfectly? He reminds us balance is divine. 3. Shiva as Bhaira, terrifying, fierce, protector. Not evil, but the energy that burns away illusion. When darkness rises, Bhairava doesn't run, he roars. 4. Shiva as Pashupati, lord of all beings. Not just humans, but every animal, every bird, every tree, he's connected to all life. 5. Shiva as Mahadeva, the supreme. No beginning, no end, a state beyond thoughts, beyond religion, beyond time. This is just episode 2, the dance of destruction. Close your eyes. Imagine an ancient cave in the mountains. A sage sits by a fire. The flames flicker, but then the earth shakes, the air thickens. A deep drumbeat echoes from nowhere. Boom, boom, boom. And from the heart of the universe, he begins to dance. This is Tandav. Not just a dance, it is the heartbeat of time. Welcome back. In our first episode, we saw Shiva's many forms, from the fierce Bhairav to the graceful Ardhanarishwara. But now we go deeper into his motion, into the fire, into the Tandav. You see, in Western culture, gods are often still, posed, silent. But Shiva, he moves, he dances, and every movement shapes reality. There are 2 sides to his dance. One on Tandav, the dance of bliss. He dances in joy, in love, in surrender. This is when the universe flows in harmony. The stars spin, life blooms. 2. Rudra Tandav, the dance of wrath, when injustice rises, when ego blinds, when chaos needs cleansing. Shiva dances to destroy, not to punish, but to purify. His foot stomps the ground and illusions shatter. His locks swirl and rivers are born. His third eye opens and time stops. In this dance, life ends, but also begins. The sky is deep blue, stars like silent witnesses above you. In a quiet temple courtyard, a single lamp flickers before a black oval-shaped stone. People bow, offer water. Some don't understand why, but this is not just a stone. This is the Shivling. Welcome back. You've met Shiva's forms, you've witnessed his dance, but now we face a form without form. Not human, not animal, no face, no limbs, just a simple shape, and yet more powerful than any idol. To the unknowing eye, it may seem strange, but to the seeker, the Shivling is everything. Let's travel back, not hundreds, but thousands of years. Before temples, before scriptures, when humans first looked up and asked, where did it all begin? The answer was not a god in the sky, but a formless source, a silent explosion of energy. That's what the Shivling is. Ling means symbol. Shivling was the symbol of Shiva, the symbol of creation and consciousness. The round base, called Yoni, represents the womb, the feminine source. The upward shaft, the ling, represents the cosmic seed, the masculine force. Together, they're not sexual, they're spiritual. They show how life begins when consciousness and energy unite. This is why, even today, millions pour water and milk over the Shivling, not just as worship, but as a return to the source. No face, no form, because Shiva is beyond form. He's not to be seen, but felt. And in the silence of the Shivling, you don't see God. You become still enough to realize him within yourself. Next episode, episode 4, Kailash, Ek Parvat. Cold wind whispers through snow-capped peaks, clouds float like dreams, and there, standing tall, still untouched, is Kailash. Welcome back, traveler. Today, we leave behind the world we know and enter the realm of silence. Mount Kailash. Not just a mountain, not just a tourist spot, but a portal where the body stills and the soul listens. Standing 21,000 feet tall, untouched by any climber, No one has ever reached the top, and strangely, no one ever will. Because Kailash is not to be conquered, it is to be surrendered to. Legend says this is where Shiva lives, not in golden palaces, but in a cave wrapped in tiger skin with snakes around his neck, eyes closed in deep meditation. Why? Because he doesn't rule, he renounces. And Kailash reflects that silence. Around Kailash flows Lake Manasarovar, crystal clear like the mind of a yogi. Just nearby is Lake Rakshas Tal, dark, stormy, restless. One is pure, one is chaotic. Yet they sit side by side, just like us, light and dark, peace and desire, all within. Many believe a single parikrama, one full circle around Kailash, can wash away lifetimes of karma. And in that journey, the mountain doesn't speak, it listens. Because Kailash isn't a place to reach, it's a state to realize. Stillness, oneness, where Shiva and Shakti just are. And speaking of Shakti, next episode, we meet the one who walks beside episode 5, Parvati or Shiv, Shrishti Kajat. Snow melts on the peaks of Kailash, not from the sun, but from the warmth of love. Inside the silent cave, the yogi sits, still as a mountain, eyes closed, world free. It all began on a cold, quiet night. There was a family, the Perrons, a couple with 5 daughters who had just moved into a secluded farmhouse in Harrisville, Rhode Island. It looked like it was surrounded by trees and silence, but little did they know, something dark and ancient was watching them. At first, it was just small things, doors creaking open on their own, clocks stopping at exactly 3:07 a.m. every night, and strange noises echoing through the halls. But then the smell of rotting flesh began to linger. Their dog refused to enter the house, and the youngest daughter started talking to someone no one else could see. That's when the terror truly began. The mother, Carolyn, started getting bruises, dark, ugly ones, as if someone was grabbing her in her sleep. She would wake up gasping, confused, terrified. Furniture moved on its own. Spirits began appearing, angry, weeping, sometimes screaming. Desperate, the Perron family reached out to 2 paranormal investigators, Ed and Lorraine Warren. They had seen evil before. But this house, this was different. Lorraine, a clairvoyant, immediately felt the darkness. She saw the spirit of a woman who had cursed the land, a witch named Bathsheba who had sacrificed her own child to Satan and then hanged herself from a tree in the backyard, vowing to haunt anyone who lived there. As the days went by, Bathsheba's spirit began to possess Carolyn, trying to force her to harm her children. The Warrens knew they had to act fast. But performing an exorcism without the church's permission was risky. What followed was a terrifying showdown between good and evil, in a basement filled with screams, blood, and shadowy figures clawing at the walls. Carolyn, tied to a chair, screamed as the demonic entity inside her fought to stay. But in the end, with prayer, faith, and the strength of love, the Warrens were able to cast the spirit out. The Perron family survived, but the house still stood, silent, empty, waiting. Because sometimes evil doesn't die, it waits.